Greetings, my king. If you're seeing this message, it means Caradoc has fulfilled his task, and the wheel of destiny has begun to turn. I am Orin, your majesty's devoted servant, and the apprentice of your friend Merlin. Nothing would bring me greater joy than meeting you face to face. Alas, that must wait, for our paths have yet to cross, though I hope it will be soon. In the meantime, please treat my home as your own. Make yourself comfortable. Rest from your hardships, and seek the knowledge you require. And you, brave vessel, remember to heed your lord, King Arthur, now and always. You have no idea how long I've been waiting for you, my king. I've memorized Merlin's plan for your resurrection. Yet I'm certain my master made a mistake somewhere. I just can't pinpoint quite where. The theory of revival itself, the technique for performing the ritual was flawless. After all, you always return to us. But I saw how much suffering each resurrection caused you. I wanted to find a way to bring you back to us as the person you truly wished to be. My king, I understand that what Merlin and I have done was against the laws of nature. You know how many brave knights gave their lives so we could find a way to bring you back. But their sacrifice was not in vain. With you here, Avalon has a chance to become... My king, I understand that what Merlin and I have done was against the laws of nature. You know how many brave knights gave their lives so we could find a way to bring you back. But their sacrifice was not in vain. With you here, Avalon has a chance to become a true paradise. And now, I believe I've found the way to make it happen.
might have been, but I don't recall us ever meeting in person. Merlin had many apprentices, and Nimue was the most gifted among them, but even she never spoke in my presence. It is possible Merlin forbade his students from speaking to me, though why he would do such a thing, I cannot say. But Orin seems devoted to a cause he believes in. It's a refreshing perspective, and unlike any we've seen so far. Honestly, I had hoped his discoveries might help me recover some of my lost memories. Sadly, they did not. I remember what Merlin and I chose to do. I simply thought I could reconstruct the reasoning behind our decision. But it seems even Orin wasn't certain of that. I regret that Merlin didn't share his thoughts and decisions with his apprentices. They might have helped us now, on this journey. I'm not ready to answer that question, and I sense the final decision won't be mine to make. You're more important than you think, and our fates are bound together to the very end. In the end, Orin's opinion may not even matter.
Your soul is diseased. There is something poisoning it. But it isn't the Red Death, is it? I can't sense that in you. Yet I detect a trace of wordness. It looks like your fate was sealed. But then something shifted your life's direction. You're an intriguing one. I am Carla. My loyal helpers. I'm not so proud as to call them worshippers. But if you ask the outsiders, they might say my helpers are just poor souls, bewitched by an evil Pictish witch. Oh, don't believe in superstitions. They're simply grateful because I cured them of the Red Death. Nothing more. Those close to the wordness can be cured. It's a skill known among the Picts. Oh yes. As you can see, the wordness can be a force for good, too. It's such a shame that with the druids gone, we've also lost the hope of fully harnessing this potential. Oh, I'm not quite sure how I do it myself. It seems like the Red Death and the wordness somehow complement each other. The eyes of those afflicted show a unique kind of pain, unlike anything else. Even in those who've recovered, you can still see the vestiges of their suffering. The Red Priests say the Red Death affects both the mind and the body. They are right about that. What spreads through your body is something more. It touches the very essence of one's soul. I'm afraid there's not much that can help with such a condition. Ah, Lemuel, the not saint, the most zealous of the doubters. What did that old man ask of you? To kill me and the men in front of my tent? Another sin he'll eventually have to run from? Yes, that sounds like him. Why? Because I still have nightmares about the night he took my dignity. Because that night has never really ended for me. He took advantage of me when all I did was try to help him. Then he fled. It's not something one can forgive easily. I certainly can't. That old broken man is nothing but a facade that Lemuel adopted years ago. He's even begun to believe it himself. No, but he can't hide who he is or what he's done from me. He violated a woman who saved his life. And now he's telling everyone I am a witch. He says he did it because I bewitched him. He's a defiler. And sooner or later, he'll hurt someone again. There is a way. Horrible sins affect the body. They petrify it, even though such a thing may not be visible to the naked eye. When you find Lemuel, simply whisper a spell to him. Quiran, shom piakai istich aranj korb. And then bring him to me. That's all. You know what to do.
What an unfortunate meeting. You found me at a time of great sorrow. This is an irreparable loss for the Church. I pray that our brothers will find peace in their eternal slumber, along with a true understanding of the Word. After all, there is no greater virtue than the word of the Prophet. Am I right? For those priests, I am the truth. I only help them to face the meaning of the word.
The first one went smoothly. This one was quite stubborn. He kept resisting. The embers of faith burned stronger within him.
Perhaps for the same reason the Red Church caused the Chart Conclave. Perhaps I am just blindly following my own word echoing in my mind. Kill every priest. Make them suffer as others have suffered. As the Druids suffered, for example. Oh, you mean all that? Don't worry.
Those priests went to a better place. They will no longer be concerned with worldly matters.
They won't have to ask questions about meaning. They won't have to seek the truth. Perhaps we should follow their path. Still, you haven't answered my question. Well, what does the word mean to you? Yes, yes. They have marked you, used you. You too have suffered, I can see this. The word, a treacherous worm that hides underneath the cranial vault, eating away at the common sense of the good people. This is what the word truly is.
The Red Church must be torn down, burned to the ground. Now, I will go further. If you want, join the hunt. Take the revenge.
Stay sharp. I've had worse. Blow for blow! I will be your downfall. I will be your downfall. Your money or your life?
meet again, Lost Prince. I was mistaken about our previous encounter. I erred in thinking I had unraveled what the Pale Lady had planned for the both of us. But I should have known better than to presume or anticipate the moves of someone as shrewd as her. I am tired, Prince. I am so terribly tired. I feel burned out. I can't weave anymore. I don't want to. Never imagined that such a moment could come. Oh, what a truly sorrowful thing. To accept that all things must finally fade. You meeting me? As I mentioned upon your first visit, I thought it was just a coincidence. A fortunate weave of various events that, under a different alignment of stars and smaller choices, would never have come to pass. However, it turns out that I was meant to fulfill a specific role, and it was not to weave new life as I once believed. To weave bridges between you and her despair. Bridges that would allow you to gather the memory shards. She used me. Yet I cannot even bring myself to be angry with her. I see now that she seeks to restore the bonds that once were, before her world shattered and fell into ruin. The pain of a mother who has lost her child, it is difficult to comprehend, especially for us. For centuries, we never had to face loss, and then only by gazing upon you humans, we had to deal with the idea of death. To live in a world in which everything has to die, such a horrible and terrifying thing. Her desire was to bring her son back. I understand that, but can't really empathize with it. Understanding others has always been the strength of humankind. And anger? I'm not sure. For now, I just want peace. I don't want the weirdness. I don't want to weave. I don't want to feel. She hopes that by restoring her son's memory, she will finally bring him back. The Pale Lady wants to put you on a proper path. Yet she does not realize how daunting and impossible this challenge truly is. But those driven by despair rarely measure their actions with reason. Places like this one, or the one where we met before, were chosen by the Pale Lady for a reason. On their own, they're nothing more than aberrations twisted by the weirdness. To bridge your reality and ours, someone had to weave the passages. That someone was me. In both instances, I believed all my efforts were aimed at weaving a new Fordweller, for the first time in centuries. But the truth was far from that. The Archspire was a bridge to the place where her son was born. In that cave, I wove the prints from the threads of the weirdness granted to me by the Pale Lady. They were resonating with great desire. It seems the place we stand in now was marked as the place where I had to create the next passage. Since we lost the war against your kind, we retreated to Tuathan, severing ourselves from the rest of Avalon. All the while, the weirdness has continued to change. It has grown wilder, more untamed, and far harder to control, even for us. For centuries, places like this seemed lifeless, stripped of their potential. And then the spark began to return. It was then that I resumed my work. So it is true. I suspected that gazing upon the homelands by the Pale Lady and her son could not occur without disruptions. The knot grew tight. I do not dare to peer beyond my lost prince. I feel that what lies ahead is bound to a profoundly intimate and ineffably personal aspect of the Pale Lady. It is between you and her. Prince, it is time to go. Leave me behind. I played my role in this spectacle. Hopefully that will grant me freedom. Farewell.
There's no greater joy than watching how a son, born of desire, grows. There's no greater despair than watching how a son, born of one's own thought, perishes. And now you stand here, hidden deep within. And even I cannot fathom what my heart feels. Still torn, for you are not wholly him, my son, my prince of Tuathan. Yet there is a flicker of joy within me, for you carry the soul of an Arthur, whose life was chosen for my son. This means the fragments of memory I gathered and kept safe may be saved. The heart, bleeding and plagued, a fragment of me, of my despair, accidentally brought into existence upon the homelands. My tears seeped into your soil, birthing a terror that became inseparably bound to your kind. The Spectre, the Red Death. Unintentionally, I could not have foreseen what such an entanglement of our realities would bring. I could not have known the depths of pain wrought by the loss of a beloved child. When it started to spread, I couldn't find a way to stop it. I am so terribly sorry. Arthur believed that abandoning the homelands would stop the plague. The Red Church committed truly horrific acts in their desperate attempt to halt the blight. Yet, no matter what you humans do, the plague will always return. It's like a curse cast upon your kind. And so, you will drown in my tears. I want my son back. You walk your own path, yet you will be faced with choices. I hope that, among them, you will find a way to bring my son back. However, I cannot impose my will upon you. It took me a long time to understand that not everything should be demanded by force. I believe so. And you are already working tirelessly toward this, whether you realize it or not. Since my son's fate became entwined with that of Arthur, the King of Mortals, it is necessary to reconstruct the soul of the ruler whose essence you carry within your heart. You will also need the fragments of my son's memory, the ones I so carefully concealed for you to find. Beyond that, the Weaver may possess something helpful. His life-giving spindle. It may prove invaluable when the final trial comes. If you manage to find him, take it. He is no longer bound by the places I created for him. where he could work in peace. I have a feeling he may have returned to his workshop, deep within the Forlorn Swords. It is a tale about the Prince of the Four Dwellers, who unexpectedly became the king of humankind. Arthur. We are connected. In the homelands, he heard my call from beyond the mists. It guided him to Avalon. I met him during his journey. I gifted him with the sword, the specter of which you now carry within yourself. He is someone very dear to me. Someone I lost decades ago, whose soul found a new body in your lands. As you already know, we found a way to gaze upon the homelands. My son was fascinated by humans, fascinated by your impermanence and fragility. When one has to deal with entropy and decay, everything suddenly gains far greater significance, doesn't it? He must have desired to live the life of a human. Perhaps it is one of the most powerful manifestations ever achieved by a Four-Dweller. Oh, the Weaver. I remember the spark of joy that lit up his pale face when he saw what emerged from the threads of weirdness I gifted him. A living being, brimming with such boundless potential. So vibrant with life. He always had a fondness for my child. He called him the Prince. In the homelands, I saw a powerful thing that we Four-Dwellers lacked. It was love, one of many emotions I had to learn. We lived in a world where everything was potent and possible. It made us live a life where we were drowning in decadence. I longed for something more. Our emotional structure was much less complicated than yours. You were quite an inspiration. Yes, I am fully aware that my will to bring Arthur to the shores of Avalon brought war and ruin upon my own kin. What would you have me say? There are no proper words for this. I will simply fall silent. Draw your own conclusions. Yes, although that was a horribly distorted part of me, living as if it were another life. Now I feel more whole. The emptiness is sharper. The sorrow, far more profound. Ah, yes. Bound to Arthur through kinship. They were close enough that some of my despair reached her as well. A different kind, however. She was able to find and gaze into it. I pity her. The fate that befell her is truly dreadful. One aspect of the potential of the weirdness is that it can serve as a tool. For that, I needed a craftsman. Someone who could sense even the thinnest threads of that potential as part of a greater whole. Every Four-Dweller could manipulate the weirdness to some degree. But not all did so with the finesse of the Weaver. He could harness that potential for something far, far greater, like weaving a new life, for example. My skills lay elsewhere. Among them was the ability to peer beyond the horizon of our civilization, to see a different world. A world without the weirdness. A world filled with meaning and purpose, constructed through intricate connections. A single living organism, yet full of individuality at the same time. I feel that sometimes you do not realize just how extraordinary your land truly was. Are you sure? If you have anything to ask, ask now. This may be our last meeting before the end of things. I am listening. Are you sure? This may be... So, it is done. I am glad my heart could host you. I hope you will succeed in reaching the goal you pursue. You leave this place with another shard. Use the memory of my son wisely. Ah, one more thing. That perfect obedience will no longer be your burden. It was never my will, but rather a flawed interpretation by humans, consumed with the madness of the dying. Farewell.
Didn't think I'd miss you this much. Foolish thought, wasn't it? I'm all ears. found them? I only heard tales back in the days when I was still a child. In Kunacht, parents used those stories to scare boastful kids, saying they'd end up in the abyss like them. Grand halls don't always mean grand hearts. I wonder if the stone holds more honesty than the ones who walk it. Faith can erode, just like the finest iron and steel. I don't want to imagine the terror that took place there. Those poor priestesses, they paid a terrible price for their devotion. Bravery or madness? Maybe both. Either way, you stood where few dare to tread. I'm glad you're here with me, able to share these stories. Keep your wits sharp and your blade sharper. I need you whole.